Jean Sumner gives you simple steps to make lifestyle changes with her 52 tips to be healthy. Get your copy today at worldwellnesseducation.org. Healing Journeys is presented by World Wellness Education, whose mission is to educate the world about wellness one story at a time. Hi, my name is Tracy Brosman, and I'm here today with Debbie Waddel. Debbie is going to be sharing her healing journey of congestive heart failure. Welcome, Debbie.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to hear about this because I know at the beginning you were misdiagnosed, actually, right?
I was. After I had the chest pains and the jaw pain, and they rushed me in, and the cardiologist kept saying I had indigestion. And it was thanks to a nurse and the attending physician that really pushed me to go and have the catheterization.
So tell me, you're in the hospital. You were rushed. Did you go by ambulance?
No, I wouldn't let my husband call the ambulance.
So you were trying to be brave. You got there. But when he said it was indigestion, what did you feel? How did it ring true, or were you unsure?
I wanted to, of course, believe him.
Okay.
Yet.
So you're like, it's indigestion, I can go home and I'm fine.
Right. He really didn't say it was indigestion until I was already admitted and had a test, a nuclear stress test.
Okay.
But my type of blockage doesn't show on the nuclear stress test. And so because of that, he was convinced it was indigestion. However, the attending physician kept saying, it's not. You need to have a catheterization.
And what made the attending physician feel that way?
I had what's called a slight S depression in my EKG.
Okay.
And the nurse, the head nurse on the floor, came into my room and told me, you need to listen to the attending. Do not listen to the cardiologist. There are a lot of dead women due to indigestion. And she said, do you hear what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I said, yes, okay. And then they had to transport me to another hospital because they didn't do the catheterizations at the time.
So there's a lot of dead women due to indigestion. What, meaning
read between the lines.
Women are often misdiagnosed with this disease.
Absolutely.
And why is that? Did you find that out later, or
do
we have different symptoms than men?
We totally have different symptoms. Women tend to spasm, where a man, when he has a heart attack, they're in pretty significant pain, usually the entire time.
Right.
Whereas my pain came and then it would release.
So more like indigestion.
And except it was like an elephant was on my chest.
Right.
Where I don't think indigestion feels like that. A lot of people with heart disease often say they have like an upset stomach. I never felt that.
Okay.
I had chest pain, a weight on my chest, but then it would go away. And then it came back a couple of hours later on the day that I said, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Okay. Were you having pains leading up to it? Could you say on the day?
Just in the morning, morning. I was doing some work. We were renovating our kitchen, and I got the first pain. But I had also swallowed a little pretzel nugget, and I actually felt that it got caught. If you've ever had that, that's very
uncomfortable feeling.
Very painful. And that's what I really thought it was. So I didn't really pay any attention to it. And then later that evening, as I was in the store showing my husband the tile we picked out while we were renovating our kitchen, it happened again, only this time I got the pain, but then I also remember going, oh, my jaw hurt so bad. And then I felt some slight tingling in my left fingers. And that's when I tapped my husband on the shoulder calmly and said, I think we need to go to the hospital. Our granddaughter was with us, so I didn't want to frighten her.
Right.
And then as we drove to the hospital, I had no pain again. So when we got to the hospital, I said, no, I don't want to go in. I'm fine. Let's turn around and go back.
We do that. It's a good thing you did it.
And so my husband's like, no, we can't do this. Let's go in. And when I went in, the nurse later shared with me that she felt that they would find something because of a specific ashen color that the nurse has seen with people who have, I guess, heart attacks.
Okay.
So they wheeled me in, and as soon as they gave me an injection into my abdomen, I knew that I was being treated for
congestive heart failure.
For some form of heart.
So the treatment, let's fast forward to that. Do you have any heart problems now? Let me ask that.
No, when they did the catheterization, I had a 90% blockage in my right main coronary
So that's what they were
artery.
able to find.
And so because of that, I do have a stent.
Okay. So you have the stent, but with that you could
I'm
theoretically,
on no medication.
you would have to take medications,
Yes.
and you could have other problems, correct?
Absolutely.
So did you make any lifestyle changes? I'm assuming that you did some changes to avoid this.
Yes. I mean, I was vegetarian, but I wasn't a healthy vegetarian.
Okay, so explain that to me.
You know, you could be a vegetarian and eat potato chips, and you can have pizza
A lot of processed food.
A lot of processed food, a lot of vegetarian meats, and they're high in fat. And don't forget, vegetarians still eat cheese, which is so high in fat. And so what I did is I switched over to a whole foods plant-based diet, low fat.
Okay.
And so, and then...
Was that hard to make that switch?
It wasn't hard for me at all. I mean, I was raised with a mother that we only steamed our vegetables. She was very into, healthy cooking. So for me, it really wasn't that difficult.
Just a few changes
Just
to your
a
lifestyle.
few changes. I already ate, I thought, pretty healthy, but I got rid of all the processed food and did eliminate all dairy.
Okay.
And I guess, and I had to eliminate oil.
Why did you have to eliminate all oil, and why the dairy? Why was that so important?
Well, dairy is loaded with fat. Okay.
So you were trying to eliminate the fats.
Definitely.
Does that mean you have no fat in your diet?
I have the natural fats that come in your vegetables.
Okay.
And then for me, even healthy fats like avocado and nuts are a no-no for somebody who already has coronary artery disease.
Okay.
Okay, so if I want to make sure that the lining of my endothelial cells, that lines every one of your arteries in our bodies, if you want them to remain dilated and produce nitric oxide, okay, which is what dilates our arteries, and then our blood just flows through those arteries like Teflon, versus if you eat dairy, it flows more like there's Velcro in your arteries, okay? So I studied through the Colin T. Campbell Foundation through eCornell and received my certificate in plant-based nutrition.
Okay.
And the program that I follow is what was taught to me through Dr. Campbell and Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who's out of the Cleveland Clinic.
Okay.
Okay, so, and their whole program is really preventing and reversing heart disease, and of course Dr. Campbell does that for cancer as well.
So how long did it take you to start feeling better?
Well, the wonderful thing is with heart disease, for me, I didn't really feel sick. For me, it's been, I don't ever want to go through that again. I don't want to have another heart attack. And because I was lucky, I don't have heart muscle damage. But if it happens again, the likelihood is I could, or I could die. You know,
It's really scary.
scary, because for many people, their first heart attack is the end of their life. I was lucky.
How did that affect you emotionally?
Initially, I was in shock. I couldn't believe that at 49, eating healthy, that this can happen to me. However, I smoked for 35 years. And a lot of this also is because I smoked.
So
Because
even another
smoking-
reason not to smoke.
Absolutely. Smoking makes all your arteries sticky. So I had to undo a lot. And the way to do it was through this whole foods, plant-based diet.
So you made a lot of changes.
A lot of changes. I learned how to, I quit my, 2 of my jobs at the time, and just focused on growing my own, at the time, my own acupuncture practice.
So that removed a lot of stress, I'm assuming?
Yes,
That's
yes.
great. And now what are you doing now?
What I'm doing now is starting a whole new venture in my Vegilicious Academy, where I am teaching people how to eat healthy through one-on-one coaching or through cooking classes, how to make delicious food without using any oil.
Okay.
And I also teach
Now, then that's not easy.
that it just use broth. There's a little few techniques to it, but it's you don't give up good taste at all to cook without oil.
So, well, I can say from experience, you were at the Taste of Wellness, and
Yes.
you had, what did you bring? What was the name of, it was like a meat, it wasn't a meatball, but.
No,
or
what I
meatloaf,
brought
but-
was a what I call better than meat lentil loaf that everyone just went.
It was amazing.
Crazy
It was
over.
really, really good. So that's great. So you're helping people learn how to eat healthier.
Absolutely. Teaching them how to cook, teaching them the theory behind it if they want to learn that. Also taking people to a grocery store
Oh.
and teaching them how to shop and what to look for in labels, because fat is in so many things. I'll pick up a box of chicken broth, no chicken broth, I should say, and it will say fat-free. It'll say 0 grams of fat, but if you look down and look at the ingredients, it'll say some type of oil. And yet it says 0 grams of fat.
It's amazing.
And so
So we have to learn everything all over
all
again.
over again.
So, well, if somebody would like to find out more about your journey or to have you help them make changes to their lifestyle, how would they do that?
They can contact me via my email, which is acupunctdeb, that's acupunctdeb,
Okay.
at AOL.com.
Wonderful. So, Debbie, what would be a change that somebody could start with in their lifestyle?
The first change I recommend to all my clients is give up dairy.
Do you have a lot of resistance with that?
Probably the most resistance is cheese. And that's because cheese contains a morphine-like substance in the casein and actually acts as an opiate in our brains, and that is why cheese is very addictive. But you
very
can give it up. There's all dairy alternatives. Almond milk. There are also dairy cheeses, but you need to be careful because
non-dairy cheeses?
They're high in, they're still high in fat. What
Okay.
I recommend is just switch over to low-fat, unsweetened almond milk or rice milk, soy milk. They're all fortified with the same nutrients, calcium and vitamins
Great.
that regular milk is fortified with. You're just giving up fat and hormones, saturated fat and
Wonderful.
hormones.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Debbie.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
To share your journey to wellness or find out more information, visit our website at worldwellnesseducation.org. We make a difference one story at a time.